everyone, Darren here, and on today's episode of WoTC Academy, we're going to look at how to aim, but this is going to be a remake and put into two parts. In today's video, we're going to actually look more at the information that you are given in the heads-up display slash reticle when you are aiming at a tank, and kind of explaining what these indicators are and or mean. So, um, yeah, there have been some changes with 6.0 and between 6.0 and now that have changed that may or may not benefit you. So, starting off right now with what has changed, we currently have a change in RNG. Before 6.0, the RNG for both damage and pen was plus 25% and minus 25% for both of those. So that meant basically your pen, you had a chance of penning 25% above or below your listed value, and you had a chance of doing 25% above or below your listed alpha damage. And now it's actually been changed with 6.0 to where penetration is actually plus 25% your listed penetration and minus 10% your listed penetration. As for the change to damage, it's now plus 15% of your listed alpha damage or minus 25% of your listed alpha damage. Moving on to what hasn't really changed, we can see that the pen chance indicators, at least with the default red-green color scheme, have remained the same. Yellow still means you have pretty much a 0% chance of penning at that exact spot you are aiming at, but of course, this is not taking into account, various RNG factors, but it's pretty safe to say that, as you can see here, anywhere that I'm aiming where it's yellow, I am not penning at all. Moving on to the orange reticle. The orange reticle is pretty much your chance to pen is between 0 and 100%. Not a definite 0% and not a definite 100%. It really does come down to many factors like the armor that you are aiming at, the armor thickness, the angle of the armor that you are aiming at. And as you can see, the farther from the front of the tank, like the rear of the tank, it was harder for me to aim because of the angle that it was, harder for it to chance to pen. And the closer I got and the flatter angle I got on the VK100, the easier it got to pen, and you saw that on the final round. Moving over to the red reticle, the red reticle has remained the same. Red pretty much means you have a 100% chance to pen that spot on the armor. And as you can see here, it doesn't matter where I aim, the reticle is red, and the round is going to go through. And again, pretty much these color schemes here, these have remained the same with the red-green scheme. Of course, with the introduction of various color options for like colorblind modes, since I don't use them, you may or may not have lost this feature. The last little bit to take into account is the spaced armor effect when aiming. As you can see here, the reticle is red, but when I fired, I did no damage. That is because I was aiming and the reticle was only showing me being able to pen the outermost layer of armor, which actually is more like spaced armor. And you're going to see here by this diagram that I post that there's two layers of spaced armor there right behind the actual layer of armor that will do damage if I pen it. I pen that first little sliver bar of armor there that actually acts as spaced armor. And then, of course, there's those tracks that also act as spaced armor. And I have to actually get through both of those and still pen the armor behind them in order for me to do damage. And as you can see, the caliber of my gun and the penetration of my round are not high enough in order to actually do that. To be on the safe side, it's always better when at least facing a vehicle like this is to aim at the upper half above where the tracks would be. That concludes that section, but let's go take a look at some various changes to the reticle that you will see when you are aiming and firing at vehicles, as they were added at some point between 6.0 and now. So let's go take a look. So in this part, we're going to look at the reticle heads-up display indicators that at some point between 6.0 and now, the time of this video being released, um, there were some indicators added to the game to aid you in information while you are on the battlefield, because you may not be able to um, see if you did damage or if you bounced or can't notice it in the chaos of the battle. Um, Before I show the image, I would like to apologize for the audio in the previous part. I have discovered with the creation of this video that doing live commentary with the Elgato program does not work. So I apologize. I'm going to make an effort to make this video the absolute last video that you ever hear such horrible audio. I tried to fix it, but yeah. Anyway, moving back on to topic here. If I show you this image right here, there are 4 different indicators you may see in the game. Starting with the top left, these tiny little red marks on each side of the reticle represent if you penned your target. The bigger ones, the longer arrows and red indicators, means that you destroyed a vehicle. The big, broad white marks mean that you bounced, and the little skinny-looking yellow, like what looks like darts, are just simply represent module damage. I do remember hearing a rumor that these actually represented the type of round you were firing, but that's not the case. As you can see, the screenshot was actually taken from a loading screen, so even Wargaming says that's not what these are for. But nonetheless, extra information to help you get the proper information you need during a battle, especially if some of you relied on audio cues from your commanders that spoke your native language, then yes, these indicators should be more helpful to you, or anyone else that may actually benefit from them. But that does it for the part 1 of this video. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this one, hopefully not without horrible live commentary audio, make sure to subscribe. And I'll see you again in part 2 of How to Aim. But until next time, this has been Darren of WoTC Academy.